Well, tonight we take a closer look at the impact of the Catholic vote on the 2020 presidential election, as support among this pivotal bloc appears to have been almost evenly split between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Nationwide survey data from AP Vocast finds 50% of Catholic voters backed Donald Trump, while 49% supported Joe Biden. Dr. Matthew Bunson, executive editor and Washington bureau chief of EWTN News, and Andrew Walworth, Real Clear Politics chief content officer and host of the Real Clear Politics Takeaway podcast, join me now on Skype to help analyze the numbers. Gentlemen, welcome back. So good to see you both. We appreciate your time today. Matthew, I want to begin with you. Both campaigns set out the Catholic vote, and as you well know, our EWTN polling ahead of the election forecasts split, with Joe Biden having an advantage there. Let's talk a little bit about the makeup of the Catholic vote in America and the issues of concern.
Well, if we go back to 1960 in the election of John F. Kennedy, Catholics by about 90% voted for him. We jump ahead to the 2020 campaign. We can see how divided the Catholic vote is, as you just noted. It's 50-50, with Donald Trump probably winning a little percentage higher than Joe Biden, which itself is very significant considering that Joe Biden campaigned actively as a Catholic. When we're looking at the Catholic vote, then we have to understand that we can't say that there is such a thing as a Catholic vote. We have to look at the different divisions within the American Catholicism. There are regional, there are generational differences, geographical, and of course ethnic. But I think the most significant that we're seeing, and we saw this throughout our polling throughout this last election year, is the great divide that exists among Catholics who attend Mass daily or weekly and those who don't. Those who attend Mass on a more regular basis certainly supported Donald Trump in significantly higher numbers than they did Joe Biden. Conversely, those who attend Mass only yearly or never turned out for Joe Biden. So that sacramental difference is very significant here and tells us a lot about how Catholics voted.
Yeah. Andrew, how did support from Catholic voters break down across the country? And for President Trump, how did support from Catholic voters compared to what he saw back in 2016?
Well, it moved down significantly. In 2016, I think he carried 60% of the Catholic vote. So he's down to 50%. So it was a significant drop. I think Matthew has it spot on, though, that the real division here is between those who practice more than once a week and those who do not. In Pennsylvania, you saw that divide pretty starkly. Catholics are about 25% of the vote there. And among the practicing Catholics, Trump was up about 40 points. Among those who aren't practicing, he lost 60 to 35%. So very significant differences. The other thing that I think is interesting coming out of this is the so-called nuns, the people who are either atheist, agnostic, or don't identify them with any religious practice whatsoever. They moved heavily in the Democratic direction, and that's a large and growing voting bloc. It will be interesting to see what happens with them going forward.
Andrew, can you talk about the takeaways for both Republicans and Democrats?
Well, I think the takeaway for well, let's start with the Democrats. I think what will be interesting to view with Biden right now is what he does with executive orders, and that's what I would be concentrating on. There's executive orders around abortion. There are executive orders around religious liberty, things that he can do without involving the Senate. Those two issues could, if he moves on those two issues, that could motivate the Catholic vote in a way that they weren't motivated this time. I mean, abortion really wasn't a front and center issue this time around. So I would be watching that, and I'd be watching what he does on those two issues. On the other important issues that involve Catholics, I would look at the Dreamers and how Biden, what his immigration policies are going to look like. And also capital punishment is something where he actually lines up with the Catholic Church. He's against capital punishment. Yeah. So those are the kinds of issues that I think we should watch, and I think we should watch what he can do with executive orders, assuming that the Republicans hold on to the Senate, and he can't move a lot of legislation through the Senate.
Okay, well, thank you both. We have so much to get to. Hopefully, we can get you guys back on again. Dr. Matthew Bunson, Executive Editor and Washington Bureau Chief of EWTN News, and Andrew Walworth, Real Clear Politics Chief Content Officer and host of the Real Clear Politics Takeaway podcast. Thank you to both of you.